All right, let's talk about grant writing. I know, it can feel like this huge, scary thing, but today we're going to reframe it. Think of it less as a task and more like a quest to get your amazing ideas the funding they deserve. So, first things first, let's just rip the Band-Aid off. 80 to 90%, that is the rejection rate for a lot of major research grants. And yeah, that number's intimidating. It can make you feel like, why even bother? But here's the thing, it's not impossible. It just means we have to be smarter about it. It means we need a strategy.
So how do you beat those odds? What's the secret sauce? Well, I'll tell you, it's not just about having a world-changing idea. I mean, that's important, of course. But the real key is telling a brilliant story about that idea. You have to craft a narrative that's so clear and so compelling that the reviewers have no choice but to be convinced.
And don't just take my word for it. Listen to this from Dr. Kurt Gurley, a guy who's seen it all as an NSF investigator. He says, "You will not win people over by having pages and pages of equations. Storytelling wins awards." And that's really going to be our North Star today. It's about making your work, no matter how complex, totally understandable, and its importance, just undeniable. So, here's our game plan, our roadmap for this quest. First, we'll forge your mindset. Then, we'll chart your course. After that, we'll get into crafting your narrative. And finally, we'll cover the final submission.
All right, first up, forging your mindset. Look, before you even open a new document, success starts right up here, in your head. Getting your mental framework right is absolutely the foundation for everything else.
And this is probably the biggest, most important shift you need to make. Stop thinking of a grant proposal as a begging letter. You are not asking for a handout. You are not on your knees asking for charity. No, what you're doing is presenting a professional business plan for science. You're a leader, an innovator, and you're offering them an incredible investment opportunity that, by the way, helps them achieve their mission. Okay, so remember that 80 to 90% number? This is where building resilience comes in. It is absolutely non-negotiable. You're going to face rejection. It's just part of the game. It is not a personal failure. It's not a verdict on your worth or your idea. The most well-funded people out there, they're the ones who are persistent. They take the reviewer comments not as an insult, but as a free roadmap for how to make their next proposal even better.
Okay, so once we've got that resilient, confident mindset locked in, it's time to move on to the next stage, charting your course. This is all about laying the foundational groundwork before you start writing the core narrative. You know, this seems obvious, but so many people get it wrong. Funder alignment is everything. Don't just shotgun your proposal out to every foundation you can find. That's a huge waste of your time and theirs. You need to do your homework. Dig into their mission statement. See what kinds of projects they funded recently. The goal is to find that perfect match, an organization where your project fits so well that funding you is actually a win for them.
Okay, now lean in for this one, because this is maybe the most important paragraph you will ever write. The abstract. Some people call it the specific aims page. For a lot of reviewers, this is the only part they're going to read carefully. It's your first impression, your hook, your entire quest, summed up in one little paragraph. It absolutely has to sing. And this really drives the point home. Just imagine a reviewer, right? They've got a stack of applications a foot high, they're tired, they're drinking their third coffee, they read your abstract, and in that moment, they make a snap judgment. You need that judgment to be, whoa, okay, I need to know more about this. It has to be that powerful. It's your whole story in a nutshell. All right, now we get to the fun part, the heart of the whole quest, crafting your narrative. This is where we take all that planning and strategy and turn it into a story, a powerful, persuasive story that makes the reviewers feel like your project isn't just a nice to have, it's an absolute must fund. Right out of the gate, your intro needs to answer one single brutal question, so what? Seriously, why should anyone care? You have to spell out the problem you're solving and why it matters right now. If you don't hook them in that first paragraph, you've probably lost them for good.
Next up, the literature review. And look, this is not a history report where you just list off everything that's ever been published. Think of yourself as a detective. Your job is to sift through the evidence of past research, not just to summarize it, but to find the missing piece, to find that one critical gap in the knowledge. And then, bam, you present your project as the perfect, logical, and only solution to fill that gap.
So once you've established the why, you have to nail the how. Your methodology section is where you build trust. It's got to be crystal clear. The reviewer needs to read it and think, okay, this person knows exactly what they're doing.
This plan is solid, it's doable. And look at these elements. It's not just about what you'll do. It's about justifying your design, defining your population, and even acknowledging the limitations. That shows you thought through the risks, and that builds a ton of confidence.
And let's talk about the budget. It is not just a shopping list. It's a story told in numbers. Every single dollar needs a justification. The reviewer is looking for value, for accountability. They're asking, is this a good investment? You have to show them, through your detailed justifications, that you are a responsible manager, a careful steward of their money. You're proving you'll deliver a return on their investment.
Okay, we're on the home stretch. We're at the final summit of our quest, the final submission. You've done the hard work. You've built the mindset, you've planned the strategy, you've written the story. Now it's all about that final polish to make sure it shines. This is so important. Language matters. Go through your draft and hunt down any timid, wishy-washy language. Get rid of it. You're not hoping to do something. You will do it. You don't think this could improve things. You state that your work will create a new paradigm. You have to write with conviction. Project the confidence that your plan is so solid, funding is the only logical outcome. All right, before that finger gets anywhere near the submit button, please run through this checklist. Get a friend to read it, especially a friend who is not in your field. If they can understand it, you're in good shape. Proofread like your career depends on it, because, well, it kind of does. Check every single guideline. And for the love of all that is holy, submit early. You do not want to be the person whose quest ends because of a last-minute website crash. Don't do it.
So there you have it. That great idea of yours is just waiting. Are you ready for the quest? Because that's what this is. Grant writing isn't some mysterious dark art. It's a process, a strategic quest. If you get your mindset right, chart your course, craft a powerful story, and polish it until it gleams, you can absolutely get the resources your incredible work deserves.